Hello students, Mr. Hames here. It was nice meeting you today, as for me anyway. The time of recording this, day one of remote learning is in the books. Now we commence with days 2 and 3, and I just wanted to level with you guys for a little bit and just be honest. We're gonna be remote learning for at least first quarter, and we got to figure out a way to be successful on this. So what can we do to be successful? My goal here in today's video is to provide you with some tips and tricks for being the ideal remote learner. Okay, now some of these are really practical things, and some of these things have to do with mindset and kind of focusing on what the task is at hand. Now, number one is I want you to have a clear workspace. If you guys kind of take a look here, I have kind of put together a workspace in the back of my room that I am using specifically for my live lessons and video recordings that have to do with remote learning. Normally, I'm up there at the front of the room, or I'm kind of walking around the room here talking to students that are in the desks and lab tables and everything like that. But since we are not in a normal circumstance, I chose to create a space that I know that I could use to be successful. Now, I understand that everybody's home life is a little bit differently. You may or may not have space, okay? Me and my family in my house, there's 5 of us, and my house is not very big, so we're kind of on top of each other all the time. So when I'm at home, I gotta be really creative in the space that I go to, that I can get A, quiet atmosphere, and B, just space to work with. Okay? If I have a space to work with that I know that I can go to be productive, then I'm more likely to be productive there, okay? Some people, actually majority of us, when we have a concrete place to go to learn and to work, just by going to that zone or that place, we are more apt to kind of embrace the tasks that we have to do. We're more focused on them. But if we try working around family where there's a lot of distractions, or a dog barking, or a brother or sister bothering us, or food cooking in the oven, or we're just by a window where you can see things going on outside, it becomes harder. So know what space makes you successful. I highly recommend taking a moment to kind of organize a space that you can get ready. I believe Mrs. Stewart and Mr. Brenz are developing a plan for you to do that. Number 2, be present and engaged. What do I mean by that? Well, it's harder to be present when you're not present. Does that make sense? So you have to make an effort to be more present since you can't physically be present. Let's break that down. How are we going to do most of the conversing throughout first quarter? Through Google Meets, through a screen. So I really want you to embrace the idea of what Google Meets is and what kind of citizen you should be digitally in a Google Meets session. Know when to and when to not mute your mic. As much as possible, I'd like to encourage you to have yourself on screen so that I can see you. It just makes me feel more comfortable when I can read your body language and understand if you're understanding. Also, you being able to see me makes it easier to communicate and connect with me as a person. Second thing is when I have these lights behind me on my phone, it's not so bad, but on a kind of a crummy computer monitor, it's really hard to see me. If I had my computer here and I was sitting like this, those lights in the windows behind me would make it really difficult to see me. You'd kind of just see an outline. Why? Because the contrast between the light behind me will kind of overpower me, and I just kind of look like the Grim Reaper, a black silhouette. So going along with that space, when you're in a Google Meet or you're in front of a camera on your computer, set it in a space that you know you can see where it is or what you look like, okay? The nice part about Google Meet is before you click join to that meeting, you can see a video of yourself on screen. Make sure that you're visible. Make sure that you can clearly see yourself. A couple other tips. Can you see me now? 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 You get the point. Make sure that I can see you now. If you're gonna go through the effort to have your video on, make sure that the video is actually recording you. So before you log into the Google Meet, make sure that we can see you, okay? Quick tips here. Third thing, keep yourself organized. Organization is key. And I don't mean like organizing everything in a desk drawer really nicely. As you can see, that's not super well organized. I just threw stuff in there, okay, like the Midwestern junk drawer thing. We all have one in our house, right? But what I'm actually talking about when staying organized is know how to do two things. Number one, know how to access your assignments so that you know where to go. Every day, we'll be updating our agendas on the remote learning page that is public to both you and your parents. Check there every day because by 8 a.m., we will have what we plan to do for the day, both live and asynchronously. The second thing is know your schedule, okay? I print out a little schedule right there. Where is it? Boom. And that is my schedule, just so I know what I'm doing every day. In this remote learning model, things get weird. Some days we're live, sometimes we're asynchronous. Some days we're doing independent work. Some days are different, like Mondays we're doing all live classes, but they're shorter. Know what day it is and know when you need to be where, okay? I can't remember everything in my brain. I have too many things that I would have to remember, I forget it. So what do? I write it down, I keep myself organized. The last two things have to do more with mindset. I want you to take care of you. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. Plain and simple. You're gonna be asked to do a lot, right? Be in Google Meetings, complete assignments on your own. You gotta step it up in terms of responsibility. But make sure you're also doing things to keep yourself healthy. Make sure you're eating, make sure you're drinking, making sure that you're getting exercise. During wellness breaks, get up, walk around, do push-ups, planks, whatever you need to do. Go outside and get some fresh air every once in a while. Build that into your day so that you can be the best person that you can be, so that when you come back to remote learning, like in a Google Meet, you're refreshed and recharged and ready to look at a screen again. I gotta be honest, the longer I sit and stare at a screen, the more I kind of turn into a zombie. So I wanna make sure that you guys are fresh and recharged and ready to focus on whatever it needs to do. What makes you tick? What makes you the best you? Is it drawing? Is it exercise? Is it playing music? Is it going outside? Is it sleep? What is it? Make sure you build time for enjoyment into your day, seriously. And the last thing is this, mindset is key. I really believe there are two types of people in the world. There are those who embrace things with a positive attitude and are willing to do whatever it takes for the best possible outcome. And then there are those that like to complain. Try the best you can during an unideal circumstance to make it an ideal circumstance. There's a lot in the world we can't control, except you can control yourself. Be a strong person, be a positive person. And if things are getting really hard, email me, talk to your parents, talk to the counselors. There are many ways that you can get help if you need it. But the only way we're gonna get through this is together and with a positive mindset. But I can guarantee you, if you complain about all of the things that you don't like about this situation, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing. It's up to you to try to bring the positivity out of this moment. Make it work for you. Make it a productive experience. I am posting in my Google Classroom today, and I would like you have 48 hours to complete it, fill out your My Unlearning plan. It's unique between me and you. It is you telling me what is your plan for approaching e-learning, remote learning. And it really makes you think about the things I just said, but also some other stuff that has to do with remote learning. And I want to make sure that you're taking the time to reflect and develop a plan, some goals for what you're going to do in remote learning. You do all these things, I promise you it's going to be a positive experience. Don't worry about doing them all at once. Take them one thing at a time. I just wanted to provide some tips and tricks for you here today. Thanks. See you guys. Stay positive.